Hello and welcome to the Sheffield United Way. My name is Hal. You know me. I don't like to rush these things. I like to do my prep. I like to have my 11 pages of notes on a mid-30s free agent before I just sort of talk about them, because I don't want to dive in and not know enough. So sometimes you might think, well, why the certain order that we do these player scouting reports? And as you know, with our track record, we usually don't want to waste your time. So there's lots of videos on this channel about players that Sheffield United have been linked with. And a lot of those end up happening. For example, you might be hearing the stories about 𝗵𝗿𝗶𝗹𝗹. We already have, from a couple of weeks ago, a video on this channel dedicated to 𝗵𝗿𝗶𝗹𝗹. And it's all the important stuff, what he can actually offer Sheffield United. So if you get a chance, check that out. Everything that we put on this YouTube channel is also available as an audio podcast. Just search Sheffield United Way wherever you get your audio podcast. So 𝗵𝗵𝗍, he's 35. He'll be 36 in September. Christ. He is, in some reports, 5'11", others 6 foot. He's left-footed. He's played both centre-back and left-back in his career. He's a Lancashire lad, and 𝗵𝗍 was born in Sale, Greater Manchester. Started his career with Manchester City, but he only played one League Cup match before being loaned out first to Leicester City and then to the club that I think he's most synonymous, Burnley, later joining on a permanent basis in January 2012, where he made 376 appearances. That was over 11 seasons. Testimonial stuff. He scored 12 goals for Burnley. Now, he signed for Brentford in 2022 and played 3 seasons with the Bees, initially signing a 2-year contract, getting a further extension, 57 games and 5 goals. So over 3 seasons, you can tell straight away, not a regular. After that first season, we'll get to more of that. So if you're interested in the positions, we know centre-back, majority, but also I mentioned left-back, how many times he's played as a left-back in his career, 130, but as a centre-back, 304. So this is, to all intents and purposes, and certainly now I think with his lack of pace, a centre-back. He has that experience that I believe our back line could do with, but I do worry about his lack of pace, his lack of agility, and, you know, in a 𝗍𝗍 system, and when I say a 𝗍𝗍 system, I'm talking about like an ideal 𝗍𝗍 system, a 𝗍𝗍 system that 𝗍𝗍 wants to see himself, that we saw glimpses of, certainly in that opening game against Bristol City. In the Premier League, it's 277 appearances with 14 goals and 6 assists. A lot of championship experience as well, 149 games, 3 goals, 9 assists. 𝗵𝗍 represented England throughout the youth systems. Incredibly, he has only been sent off twice in his entire career. One a straight red, the other 2 yellows. Now, he's had injuries. He's had a few injuries. If I go through these, unfortunately, in the order he got them, he's had a knee injury, which kept him out for 95 days. He recovered from that. He got a shin injury, 58 days. He had a hamstring strain that kept him out for 126 days. That was in the 2020-21 season. He also, in that same season, had a bad head injury where he missed 2 matches. Hairline fracture in the fibula in the 21-2022 season where he missed 14 games, 122 days out. Missed 25 days with a muscle injury in 2023. The following year, he would get an ankle injury. Then he would have a repeat of a muscle injury in 2024-25, straddling, because it went over Christmas at 19. Probably quite painful festive days. I mean, he hasn't lasted a full 90 minutes since April 2024. Interestingly, that was against Sheffield United. So what are his strengths? What are his weaknesses? And by the way, if that last stat was wrong, I got it from AI. It's the first time I've used AI for any of these scout reports. But I thought, well, if I just type that in, what will it tell me? And that's what it told me. 𝗵𝗵𝗍, we know, highly experienced, free agent, going to be a centre-back, forget the left-back thing. Known for his strong tackling, aerial ability, solid defensively. He is considered a low-risk, potentially high-reward signing because of what he can bring to a team needing defensive reinforcement, particularly in the Championship. I'm not sure. I know he will believe this because actually there's been some reports that he may want to just sort of continue in the Premier League, maybe next season, maybe this season. But I think for the Championship, good player. Got that experience, including a past promotion from the Championship. I think it makes him a valuable asset for a team, hopefully chasing promotion. Defensively solid, renowned for his tough tackling, his ability to win duels. I think he's a set-piece threat as well. I've seen lots of clips. He's a strong header of the ball, significant threat, therefore both boxes, offensively and defensively. Leadership, he's considered experienced and commanding presence in the dressing room, but also on the pitch in the defence. Weaknesses, well, he's not a long-term solution. He's on the decline. Some may argue that his physical capabilities may be declining quite quickly with age because he's not quick anymore. He was never super quick, but he's definitely not as agile nor as pacey. He has been out of regular football. I mean, he hasn't been a regular for 2 seasons. So how match fit is he? Overall, we know he's solid. He can probably immediately improve Sheffield United's back line. I keep saying his experience because he's got it in the Premier League, he's got it in the Championship. Just sort of combined with those strong defensive attributes, I think it just makes him a pretty useful player to have around the place, especially when you consider that he might be able to offer advice off the pitch. Now, while his age might be a consideration, his leadership, his on-field contribution, they probably outweigh those concerns. He's regarded as a team player. High work rate. I got this a lot from when I asked online. Brave. Aggressive, but not crossing the line. Again, we saw only 2 red cards. He has good concentration, and fans of the previous clubs generally have rated him. He is, I believe, a better defender than, let's say, Rhys Norrington-Davies. Now, 𝗣𝗿𝗲𝗹𝗃 on Twitter said, obviously with his age, there will be questions over his fitness, his pace, but all in all, a good defender. Exactly what Sheffield United need. Played 277 Premier League games and 149 Championship games in his career. He'll be great for 𝗪𝗏 and Bindon. I'd still like another top-quality Championship centre-back. Well, Godfrey could be that man. But definitely a signing we should be happy about. I think 𝗪𝗏 and me coming in spells the end of Captain Robinson and Norrington-Davies. End quote. Now, I thought I'd get some views from Brentford fans on social media, as that's the team he's played for most recently. Brentford fan Steve Williams told me he is, without a doubt, solid. Brentford season ticket holder Richard Wells said, me on the bench most of last season, solid enough when he came on balance would be a good signing, but Saturday, Tuesday, the intensity of the Championship might be a challenge. Okay, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. If we look at Me's defensive stats from his last meaningful season, the 2022-23 season with the Premier League side, Brentford, I think we get a picture of the player. Tackles won 24, 53% of those tackles were won. He won 61% of his duels. He won 57% of his aerial duels. He had 48 interceptions and 14 fouls committed. So that gives you a kind of a picture of the player in stats. But I wanted to just finish with the quotes before I move on to a bit of a longer one. But I think this one really gives us an idea because it's very fair. And it's Sean, a Bees fan, who said, a free signing at the time, but because of his age, it was a surprise as it went against the Brentford model. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up to you last is we've heard from the Sheffield United hierarchy their model, and it sounds very similar to the Brighton and Brentford idea and the way of doing things. So that's interesting because this exactly reflects where we are. His wages were one of the highest, and he had interest from other clubs. But Brentford offered him a longer contract, but he didn't, crucially, move to London. He stayed in the north, where he still is. Brought with him a vast amount of experience, broke into the team early on, and the first season he was absolutely fantastic. A no-nonsense centre-back. Left-sided centre-back in a back 3, which really played into his strengths. Very useful in the air, in both boxes. Being honest, Brentford never have replaced his attitude on the pitch and his undoubted leadership. Now the Bees are playing 4 at the back and playing out. This is where it gets interesting. Out on the floor defensively, trying to dominate games, and it doesn't suit him. He's an old-fashioned centre-back. He's lost a yard of pace, and Brentford have moved beyond his capabilities. Injuries have seriously taken their toll. Last season, he wasn't great. Even against League One Colchester, he struggled in the League Cup with our ball-playing front foot style. If you, Sheffield United, want to play expansive front foot football, where does me fit into that? I'd be a little bit concerned if he's your first choice centre-back. But if he's not your first choice, fantastic for the dressing room, good backup, and his family already live in the north, which could be crucial. He'll give you 110%, smash through players, bring on youngsters around him. But if you're looking to get the ball on the deck, he's not your man. End quote. Thank you, Sean. I think that's really helpful because I think that does actually cover quite a lot of what we would imagine would be the 𝗍𝗫 style, as I keep mentioning, I keep referencing, because I do think it's important. But free agent, Ben Mee, the wrong side of 30. Maybe lost a yard of pace, but there's a class defender there who's done it at the highest level. So what do you think? As always, I want to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Up the blades.
𝗚𝗿𝗿𝗵𝗍𝗔